Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News. As we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches, the BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Muted there too, so they didn't even know that it was hot. But now we're on. We should be good. Let us know if you can hear us okay. The Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show here at ExtraMile Arena as Boise State gets set to face Colorado State in a pretty big game. Abe Jackson, Broncos got the win without playing great the other night, but probably are going to have to play better tonight.
Yeah, well, it's a team that can score a lot better than Fresno State. Fresno State is one of those teams that's just struggled to score. Then you have Colorado State as one of the highest scoring teams in the conference coming in. So now their defense is a different story, but their offense is up there with really anybody in the conference, averaging over 70 points a game, but they're also giving up 76 points a game in conference. They're the last in rebound margin. They're second to last in field goal percentage given up. So if you have the opportunities, but if you give the ball away like you did against Fresno State, this Colorado State team can put some buckets in.
I saw they're one of the worst offensive rebounding teams in the country too. So Boise State, a good defensive rebounding team, can't give up second chance points tonight.
Yeah, no, exactly. If you let a team do something well that they're not good at traditionally, then it's going to be a rough night, whether that's rebounding or shooting threes, or if you just let a team hang around and do something they're not usually good at, they're going to be in the game.
You'll be on the call with Bob Beeler here in about 15 minutes or so. KBOI 670 broadcast pregame show first, then your broadcast top of the hour. And that game you guys called the other night, first half, 15 turnovers. Max Rice had 7 himself for the game. 19 turnovers, I think it was, for the game for Boise State. What did you see in the sloppiness there in the first half?
It was just so out of character for the Broncos. And I even said on air that I said, I don't know, it was turnover 12, 13, something. I just said, Bob, this is odd because this isn't the type of team, and Max isn't the type of player to throw these full court lob passes with so much air under the ball to get him picked off. He had 2 or 3 of those to go to add up to his 7 turnovers, but 15 in the first half. It was just so out of character for this Bronco team. But then you also have to give them credit because one of the keys to being a good team is to overcome really poor performances, whether that's rebounding, defense, offense, or turnovers. The Broncos made some adjustments at halftime. They only had 4 turnovers in the second half, and they ended up winning by double digits.
And that's what you got to do, right, if you're a good team, even on days where you don't have it. I mean, you'd much rather have an ugly 10-point win than a beautiful 1-point loss.
If there's such thing as a beautiful 1-point loss. But exactly, and especially in this era of all the numbers and analytics and quad 1, 2s, and 3s, you have to get a win against a team that you're supposed to win, and the Broncos did that, and by 10 points. They were picked for probably a little bit more, but it was pretty close to what they were picked to win by.
You mentioned Colorado State, Isaiah Stevens, missed part of the season with an injury. He's back, one of the elite guards in this conference. You look at the record in Colorado State, as you said, 2-6 in the league, but 3 overtime games, a couple 1-point losses in there. I mean, I know it's kind of coach speak sometimes where Leon likes to hype up the opponent a little bit, but it does seem like Colorado State's maybe better than the record.
Well, I think so. Now they've had very close games, 3 overtime games in a row. They got blown out at New Mexico. They blew out UNLV. And then other than that, they've really been 50-50 games, and they've just come on the short end a little bit more than they've won the games. But Isaiah Stevens, I put him up there with Jamal Mashburn Jr. at New Mexico as 2 of the best point guards in the league. He's averaging 18 points coming in. He can make crazy shots. If anyone saw that UNLV game, granted the half-court heave was probably a little more luck than skill by the way he shot it. But then in overtime, he completely took over that overtime game for Colorado State, which they ended up winning at UNLV.
He's also their all-time leader in assists as well, so he can score, but he can dish the ball as well.
He can score. Now they're asking him. I think a lot of those assists came the last few years when they had David Roddy, who's in the NBA right now. But he can find it. He can find his teammates. They're asking him to score a lot more than they did the other years, and he's bringing it. He really is, but he can also pass.
It seems like some of these storylines we've had every game I talk to you have not changed. One of them's the bench production. No points in the last game. They barely even played. I mean, Leon had to keep his horses out there for most of the game, but I don't think that's very sustainable. No points from your bench and winning many games.
No, and anyone will tell you that. A coaching staff or the players, they know that they're going to need some production, and if not point production, minute production, because you can't go playing guys 38, 40 minutes a game like in that Fresno game the rest of the season in this Mountain West Conference. So they're going to need something from their bench, whether it's some points or if it's just eating up 10 or 12, 15 minutes here or there to get some of the guys, your starters, back out on the floor.
Marcus Shaver, though, I thought a good sign. He played 38 minutes and 29 seconds, I think it was, is one of his most games played of the year, and had 16 points. And I think he's slowly getting back to the Marcus Shaver we're used to seeing.
Yeah, and Coach Rice in our post game on the radio, he said, I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel it with Marcus that he's gonna really get it going pretty soon. He's struggled. That's definitely not the word, because he rebounding, steals, assists, everything that you need. It's just his shooting percentage is down from where you really thought it was going to be. But Coach Rice was confident with what he's seeing from Marcus that he's going to really start to put it together these last few games, and last 10 or 12 games. And no better time to start than now. I mean, you got one of maybe the best point guard in the league in Isaiah Stevens, at least offensively, against Marcus Shaver, who might be one of the best all across the board stat filler point guards in the conference.
Final 2 quick things. We'll get you out of here. Last year, Colorado State beat Boise State twice. The only team in the league that did that last year, including the court storming there to finish the regular season in Fort Collins. I know Leon says, media likes to make storylines and all this, but Max Rice did say after the game, hey, they got us twice last year. As a player, a lot of these guys were here last year. I mean, is that the way this game ended in Boise last year with the controversial call, losing in overtime, getting the court stormed on you? Is that something that gives these players a little extra motivation tonight?
100%. 100%. I mean, I know that you try and focus on each year by itself and each game by itself, but as a player, you've been through so many games against so many similar or familiar faces, right? There's a lot of the guys on this Colorado State team that were on the team last year. It's not like a UNLV where there's just all these new faces on the court. So you recognize the players, you know how they play. You know that there's a history between you and wins and losses. And last year, like you said, Colorado State got Boise State twice, and you know that's in the head of some of these players.
In 15 seconds, what are the keys to the game for Boise State here?
I think you have to dominate on the rebounds. You can't just win by 5 or 6. You have to dominate. The worst rebounding team in the conference, and you have to shoot the ball well. This team gives up a high percentage to the opponents. They're giving up 76 points a game in conference. You have to shoot the ball well, score a lot of points, because Colorado State will be in the high 60s.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Go listen to him and Bob Beeler on the call, and he's Abe Jackson, best in the business, man. Abe Jackson, you can hear him on 670 KBOI with Bob Beeler coming up in about 10 minutes or so on the broadcast. We appreciate him for jumping in and giving us some time. Always love talking to Abe Jackson. He does a great job, and appreciate him for coming on. We got John Mallory coming up a little bit. We'll take your comments. We'll take your score predictions, where you're watching the game from, all that good stuff. You can get that in the ICCU YouTube chat. We would love to have that. We are broadcasting from the Cutwater Spirits mobile studios here at ExtraMile Arena. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Make sure you pick yours up at your local gas station or a grocery store. Rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. You can get 15% off that interior painting with the promo code BNN15 BNN15. That's right, BNN15. That is that promo code to get 15% off the interior painting of your home. Lithia Ford of Boise, check them out as well, lithiafordboise.com. You think about it, they're paying top dollar for used cars and trucks. Even if you don't buy from them, it's all done in 3 easy steps. You share your vehicle information, make an appointment, get a cash offer from our appraiser while you wait, hassle-free on the spot. Pretty amazing. You don't even have to buy from them, but they'll buy your used car at Lithia Ford of Boise and Idaho Central Credit Union as well. ICCU.com, their mobile online banking. It's if you haven't taken advantage of it yet, you're missing out. ICCU.com, you can get more information. We appreciate their support as well for Bronco Nation News. We bring in John Mallory, joins us now at courtside. You see Boise State getting some shots up. Looks like it's going to be a bigger crowd. Already the third deck's filling up a little bit, Johnny, compared to Tuesday night. This is a game Boise State's got to have tonight, man.
I was noticing that too, BJ, when I was walking in about the upper deck. Not that there's a ton of people up there, but there's more people up there than you would typically see at this point where we're still 40 minutes from tip-off. Fans are filing in. I got here extra early tonight, too. I guess I didn't want to be hanging out of the house being told what to do anymore. Right?
We all know how that goes.
I wanted to get here and get some work in. And so I got here a little early, and there was a line just to get into the building, which was kind of an oddity on most nights, too. I don't think it's necessarily about the opponent, which is cool. A lot of times this fan base feels a lot that it's about the opponent. The bigger the opponent, the more they're going to come out. Because Colorado State's under 500. I know there's not great blood between the two programs, especially last year. Think about this. Tyson Degenhardt has never beat Colorado State, right?
Yep.
Colorado State swept this team last year.
I was going to ask you about that because and you had the controversial call on Super Bowl Sunday, the first time they played here. And then they got the court stormed on them by Colorado State at the end of the game because Boise State had already won the league, and it was the last game of the regular season. You think Abe Jackson said, no doubt about it, that's definitely a motivating factor. You were there yesterday when I asked Leon. He's like, I don't know, maybe. You think that's any extra motivation for Max Rice and Degenhardt and those guys, the way the 2 games last year went?
And throw in Najee Smith to the players, Marcus Shaver Jr. I mean, those guys remembered what it was like to lose to Colorado State twice, and I think they realize they're better than Colorado State this season, BJ. And if they play their game, if they execute what they come in to do, then they're probably going to come out of here in front of a big crowd on a Saturday night victorious. I just wonder if there is that stinker, where, you turn the ball over a record amount of time. You can't hit the broad side of a barn from downtown. Your opponent comes in and just shoots lights out like can't miss. Teams have those stinkers where you lose to teams that are under 500 on a Saturday night when everybody's getting ready to party about this team. And maybe the Fresno game was that stinker for Boise State, BJ, because I don't think if you lose to any of the upper echelon teams in this league right now, that's not a bad loss. But this tonight would be. And there's a couple other games on the schedule, BJ, that would also be bad losses for this team.
Yeah.
You think maybe a stinker's coming or maybe you don't. That's the only way I think Boise State drops this one is if they just come out and basically the way they played in the first half against Fresno, BJ, they play both halves tonight the way they played the first half against Fresno, and I don't think this team's capable of that.
I would say the metrics and everything say that this is a better team. Colorado State's a better team than Fresno State.
Okay.
So, I mean, the metrics would say that they've got a better guard. Isaiah Stevens right here, one of the best guards in the league. By the way, where is section 18? Kevin is watching from section P18 here. Where's P18? I don't know if Kevin's watching right now. Kevin is here somewhere. Kevin, wherever you're at, man.
DJ.
Appreciate you. What?
Let's get on with the show. We got
commenters,
we don't
man.
care about Kevin.
We got commenters here
in the section.
James, appreciate you, Kevin, for watching from the building. Whatever Johnny says, screw him. I'd like a 10-15-point win tonight. James McDonald wants 15-point win.
Feels comfortable to me.
Chase loves 68-48. He wants 20 points.
I can see that too. This team, Boise State, puts teams under 50. Colorado State's going to have to be on to do that. I just think that this team comes out at the opposite the way they did against Fresno. Like they sense, hey, we don't want to come out like that anymore. We don't want to do that to these crowds and everybody's festive. Let's have an extra mindset, the focus in that mindset, not to go into the first media timeout, BJ, with 2 points on the board, right?
No doubt.
Start quick tonight.
Let's see. Go Broncos heading home to watch. Tyler Bates. That's our guy Tyler, man. TB.
That's TB, man. He's missed.
Watching from McCall after a good day of skiing. Somebody, someday he wants to be a special guest on the show, he says, and he's telling the corral, bring the noise, make a legend proud.
They should put his picture up in the building somewhere.
They get the straw hat, right? They got to have the
somewhere in the building.
Yep.
Just put his picture up.
I think the straw hat needs to be somewhere in the Boise State Hall of Fame or something, right?
He's worthy of Hall of Fame consideration within this athletic department. What TB did with the corral, people will be talking about that for a long time.
What'd you make of Marcus Shaver Jr. in the game the other night? 16 points. He played almost the whole game. I think it was a season high in minutes. He played 38 minutes, 30 seconds. He's been injured with a high ankle sprain. Are we getting closer to Marcus Shaver being Marcus Shaver again here?
Oh, man. I like the way he operates, BJ. He does it on both ends. Obviously he runs this offense this season, but he also can score off of the basketball. He doesn't have to bring the ball up. Some point guards, if they don't bring the ball up the floor, they're not effective on offense. Marcus Shaver Jr. still is. And then, obviously what he's doing on the glass with his rebounds and gets a couple steals too. Been around this game a long time. It's funny to think Marcus Shaver Jr. played against Chandler Hutchison when Boise State played Portland in 2017, 2018.
Yep.
And Shaver played in that game.
And I believe that's the game he saw Chandler Hutchison go for a triple-double.
Was it? Yeah, see, I mean, that's how long Marcus Shaver Jr. has been playing college hoops. So, I just like the way he operates. I would expect him, the healthier he gets, the better he's going to play. Shocker right there,
Yep.
It's funny how that happens. And maybe Marcus Shaver's a little healthier tonight. Maybe there's a little setback. I think we've seen it all when it comes to the injury history of Marcus Shaver Jr., right? I mean, I don't think anything surprises anybody anymore. But
Yep.
if he's on tonight and he puts on a show and he gets it going, that's a lot of fun for people to watch. He's a fun player to watch play, man.
Hey, let us know again on the ICCU YouTube chat where you're watching the game from. Give us your score predictions. We'd love to get to those and give you a shout-out as we get closer to tip-off here. Do want to thank a couple more of our great sponsors. Transcomservice.com. If you're looking for a new job, how about getting into the trucking industry? Transcomservice.com can help you every step of the way with the permits and things you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. Boise Dentistry Co. If you need a dentist, Dr. Minard, he'll take care of you. BoiseDentistryCo.com. Locations across the Treasure Valley. Went and saw Dr. Minard this week. Can report the teeth are in good condition, no new cavities, all's well. Totally recommend them. Full family dentistry. Find a location near you, BoiseDentistryCo.com. And if you're looking for business insurance, check them out. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com, 229-8222. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. They make business insurance easy, and I highly recommend them as well. And Johnny Ridley's Family Markets. I know you love the CUNA location. ShopRidleys.com. Go download their app. Download the Ridley's app at ShopRidleys.com. And they're a big-time supporter of Bronco Nation News, so make sure you check them out. ShopRidleys.com. Find the location near you. The women's team played before this, Johnny. They had a tough 69-62 loss to Wyoming. Gordy Presnell, the women's coach, did talk with the media, and I wanted to play a snippet of that. He took the blame for the loss. Boise State was winning going to the fourth quarter. They had some freshmen that were bringing them up on, and they got the lead, and then he benched them and put the starters back in to start the fourth quarter, and Wyoming ended up beating them. Gordy Presnell a little hard on himself. Here he is, Gordy Presnell after the game.
World record substituting, on my part. I mean, we have our 4 freshmen out there, and we go all the way back. We're up 4, and I go back to the group to start the 4th, and we didn't do very well. So, on me. I mean, obviously everyone that watched the game can see who's playing well and who isn't. And you go back to what your safety is. You go back to what you've been around, and what a horrible substitution on my part. We just didn't execute very well, and they're big and strong, and losing Maya hurt a little bit, and hopefully she's an ACL, and it was a tough one. They're a seasoned team, and they just beat us.
When you saw what you did in the third quarter, just outscore them 20-12, what did you like from in that third quarter? What was going well?
I'm thinking, man, we got 4 freshmen out on the floor. I'm thinking we got a chance to really do some great things here. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. And there's always feel. In the first half, usually you have a rotation, mm-hmm. and then the second half you kind of go with feel. And why I would do that is beside myself here. So, but I did, and we went back with that group and got behind, and then went back with the second teamers and tried and didn't work out.
And then even when you tried to bring them in, you couldn't get a whistle, and they were kind of sitting on the side for a couple minutes.
I was really struggling with when they dribble baseline, their post backs our posts up, and it's a moving screen, and it takes away rotation. And you never know who's played basketball and who hasn't. You know what I mean? And it hurt us. So hopefully we'll get better. We have a quick turnaround. I think San Diego State's got the best team they've had in years and years, and so it's a great opportunity for us to grow. But that was a winnable game, and I feel like I let our group down a little bit.
There's Gordy Presnell, women's coach. He's a little hard on himself there, Johnny.
Gordy's a great guy, and I don't know if there's a coach on campus, a head coach who's been with their program longer than Gordy. Feels like he's up there. Maybe there's a coach. Obviously, I don't know the coach of every program and how long they've been here, but Gordy does a really good job. He's had a lot of success, and he's the type of coach that would probably pin it on himself. He's a classy guy, and sounds like that was a tough loss today for the Boise State women.
You see Colorado State on the court warming up. Johnny, what do you make of the game today? And just, again, a game they have to have for the tournament, one that probably isn't going to help them a ton unless they win big. But another, quad 3 game. They can't afford to lose this one.
I think if you just take care of the business of beating the teams you should beat in this league, maybe steal a game against San Diego State, get a split with them, and you beat the Colorado States and the San Jose States and the Fresnos, BJ, then you're going to be going into Vegas for the conference tournament feeling that you're already in the NCAA tournament. And I think that's the best position to be in for Boise State. Obviously, if you win the league, you're going to go to the dance. I think if you finish second in this league this year, your ticket is punched. I don't care if you lose the first round of your conference tournament. I think 1 and 2 will go, and then it's going to get a little dicey if Boise State wants to go into the conference tournament thinking they got a pretty good shot of going dancing regardless of that outcome. Then these are the games you got to win, man. No stinkers. And I don't know if one's coming. We'll see if it's today.
Hey, by the way, the women's game, I did write a full story on the women's game, so go check BroncoNationNews.com. I showed up, and Johnny shows up, and he goes, "What are you writing, man? I've been here 3 hours already. I'm covering the women's game." So full coverage at BNN. I want to hear from Leon Rice as well, but quickly got to thank our last 3 sponsors here. The BlueandOrangeStore.com. Check them out. Free shipping, any order over $40. That's right, free shipping, any order over $40 at the Blue and Orange Store. They got the great game day gear, all the NIL shirts, all that great stuff. And you can go there in person at the Boise Town Square Mall as well and check them out. Matt Bauscher will be picking a Matt Bauscher Real Estate Player of the Game after the game, so make sure you check out the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. It's Matt Bauscher at Bauscher Real Estate. You can check them out, again, BauscherRealEstate.com. And Timberstone Golf Course next week sometime probably is going to be when we announce the date and officially announce year 2 of the golf tournament. But we're back at Timberstone Golf Course for year 2. And I'm heading to there for another lesson this week again. So make sure you check out Timberstone Golf Course, playtimberstone.com. And your golf game will be ready to go when the weather warms up. You can get a free lesson, or not free lesson, but you can get some lessons and be ready to go when the weather warms up a little bit. Boise State, Johnny, back on the court here, starting warm-ups, and student section showing up. I thought the student section was pretty good last game. We'll see if they can get into the second. Looks like there's already some into the second deck. What do you make of the corral?
Yeah, we're still a half hour from tip-off, and that's a long time in the college basketball world.
Looks like it's going to be a pretty good.
So I think you're
going
to get a really good crowd tonight. I mean, they'll probably say it's 1,100, which will probably mean it's, 9,700.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, all they can do is count the tickets that are distributed. I mean,
yep.
But I mean, obviously,
which is what everybody does these days.
Okay, so, but yeah, I expect a heavy crowd tonight. A lot of emotion, and this team needs to come out early. Mike Tyson, this thing, come out, get after them. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? And then get all over this team. Let this fan base have fun. Let this team have some fun tonight and carry on being one of the best teams in the Mountain West and get that 7-2 conference record. Think about that. There's 18 games in this league.
Yep.
So this will officially be the halfway mark. 7-2, right? I mean, set yourself up for an excellent position to make a run to win this league regular season in back-to-back years, which would speak extremely high, not only for Leon, but his staff, Jeremiah Dickey, and this whole program. If you can win this league twice in a row, holy smokes. And they put themselves in a position to do that when idiots like me thought there was no chance. I thought they lost too much. I thought they were too small. I didn't see it this year. I was completely wrong, and they're a lot of fun to watch as well.
Well, I mean, if they can win this game, then if you can win Tuesday against Air Force, all of a sudden you're 18-5 and 8-2 in the league, heading to San Diego on Friday for a big game. So
wow.
There's one of their commits. I think that's Julian Bowie, the commit over there, talking to David Moats down there behind the basket. It looks like that's the Pocatello kid, I believe, that's committed to the program. So they got one of their commits in the house tonight. Got to play well for him, Johnny.
Absolutely, and let that kid know. I better bring a lunch and a hard hat when I join this program, because getting minutes is not going to be given here. Minutes and touches and what these kids want these days doesn't happen at this program. In case in point, Sada and Ganga. We thought for sure he would be a part of this thing this year.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's getting better every day, and that's lovely. But he's not a part of this thing this year, at least on the floor during games. So, I mean, minutes are not given away. It's going to be tough. So hopefully that kid's ready to come in and work his tail off, and I'm sure he is.
So Jordan Morales says they're in the house, and they'll be debuting a new fathead of Jeremiah Dickey tonight.
Oh, such a good idea. I need to take a picture of that when we see it. I don't see it.
They need to hold it up, and we'll try to put it on here or something. Come on, let's see if we can. Maybe I don't know if we can get it on the screen or not. He's over there looking at us. Where is it? Hold up. They want to hold up the sign here. Hey, take the other camera that we're using. Wait, hold on a second. All right, see if you can hold it up as smoothly as you can, and try to get the Jeremiah Dickey fathead over there.
It's Dickey.
Stand up if you have to.
It's Dickey with the Nike.
All right, hold on a second here. Let's see. We got to wait till Colin can get the. Hold on a second. We'll see if we can get the Colin to kind of. Can you angle it at all or not? So let's see here. All right, this is on the fly here. Angle it down a little bit. Angle it down. There it is. You can see it right there over the top of the camera. The Jeremiah Dickey fathead. What do you make of that, Johnny?
I think it's badass, man. I mean, Jeremiah Dickey deserves a lot of things from this community. Yeah, fathead. Sign him up.
That's pretty cool. Thanks, Colin, for doing that. And we always appreciate the Blue Collar Club guys up there in Section 12. By the way, someone's disappointed in me that I didn't have a pregame show for the women's game. So I apologize profusely for that. In the building, and it looks amazing, is what they're saying about the fathead. People around the building are watching and then looking at the fathead. Downloaded the BNN app. Appreciate that. Let's hear one bite from Leon Rice real quick before we get out of here. Leon Rice talking about Colorado State.
Stevens is one of the best point guards in the country, not the league, the country. He's terrific, and he was gone a lot of games. That just, we were without Shave for some, but not as long as they were without Stevens. It's disruptive. There's not many teams around the country that could lose their best player, and I thought they were good. They did a nice job of weathering that storm, and now I think they're playing really good. So it's just a typical Mountain West situation where you have another really, really good team, and you're going to play great. Well, he does everything. He's just a terrific shooter. He's a clutch player. He's got a great feel for the game. He sees the floor. He's experienced. All those things add up to be a great point guard. When you break down his film and you're looking at his reads, you're like, oh, yep, that's the right read. There's some guards that you can take away their, it's just like quarterbacks. You can take away their first check and they can't progress to their second and third option. He can go to all the options and he knows what they are, and he's seen them, and he can deliver the ball. And then he can score as many as he needs to score too. So he's got a good balance of all those things.
Well, you heard Leon Rice there talking about Isaiah Stevens, their guard, one of the best guards in the Mountain West. Not sure if we can get Jay Tuss to want to come on here for a minute. Probably not, as he's out hugging. Jay Tuss and John Mallory are hugging back here. No clue. Looks like Ken Mitchell got in somehow. He's standing behind you there, so I don't know. Cullen's dad is sitting with my wife and kids tonight, so I'm not sure how they must have made it in, I guess. But who are the refs? The refs are Greg Nixon, who was one of the refs in the New Mexico game. You got I'm trying to remember who else it is. Greg Nixon from the New Mexico game, and then you got Doran Gottschall, and I've never heard of the third guy, so not necessarily a great crew. Congrats to BNN on 2,000 subscribers. I appreciate that. Hope everybody is subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you're not, make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube channel. John, everybody knows Johnny. Johnny's got fans down here. He's got folks dapping him, hugging him up. Johnny's got all kinds of fans. But, yeah, we are at 2,000 YouTube subscribers. Make sure you please go subscribe to the YouTube channel. We would love to have you on the YouTube channel. And we're over 2,000 now. We're pushing for 3. Never going to satisfy. Let's get to 3. My goal by the end of 2023 is to get 10,000 YouTube subscribers. So let's push this thing going. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, please go subscribe to YouTube. We would love to have you. And by the way, as somebody said, go download the new BNN app. The BNN app is live. We would love to have you go download that. It's free. It's in the App Store, and you can download that and have access to your Boise State news. Again, thanks to all of our great sponsors. Cutwater Spirits. Of course, rowpaint.com, that 15% off deal. Make sure you do that at rowpaint.com using that promo code BNN15. Lithia Ford of Boise. Go check them out. Do what the Raines family did. We purchased a truck from Lithia Ford. Couldn't be happier. Go do the same. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. A transportation compliance service to help you get into the trucking industry at transcompservice.com. Boise Dentistry Co. Looking for a dentist? Go check out BoiseDentistryCo.com. You got business insurance? You want to lower your rate? The easiest way to do it, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Go download the Ridley's Family Markets app. The Ridley's Family Markets app. It's at shopridleys.com to find the location near you. And you get more information, find the location near you. The Blue and Orange Store, again, free shipping. Any order over $40 online at theblueandorangestore.com. Voucher Real Estate, the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Voucher. And, of course, Timberstone Golf Course, host of the Bronco Nation News Golf Tournament. More details to come on year 2 here in the near future. Again, you can see Boise State warming up on the court behind us. Going to be a fun one. We got to get off the air here so we don't break any rules or anything. But we'll be back with the postgame show. This game is on CBS Sports Network, and you got the great Chris Lewis on the call. Chris Lewis will be on the call for this one, so make sure you tune into CBS Sports Network. You can listen to Bob and Abe as well on the radio side. And then we'll be back post-game. Hopefully a happy post-game show for Boise State fans out there. We'll be back post-game with the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show. So enjoy the game. We'll talk to you afterwards. Boise State and Colorado State. Big game coming up here at ExtraMile Arena. We appreciate you for checking us out. If I didn't get to your comment, I apologize, but we're up against the clock here for the Mountain West Rules. Tip-off coming. It looks like it'll be a few minutes late, about 6:05 probably Mountain Time. So thanks, everybody, for checking us out. And, again, about 30 minutes after the game, we'll be back with post-game interviews, highlights, analysis, and more. Colin Mitchell's here. We got Jaden here. We got Carson here. We got the whole crew here. BNN rolling 4 people deep here for tonight's game. So a lot of photos, videos, all kinds of good stuff. Check us out on the post-game show about 30 minutes after the game. Lithia Ford of Boise, rowpaint.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, all of our great sponsors. For John Mallory and Abe Jackson, Colin Mitchell, my name's BJ Rains. We'll talk to you post-game. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.